Most women get nothing from men simply because they do not know how to ask. Remember that scripture in Matthew? Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Did you forget that? That is simply how you get stuff. You ask. You open your mouth and ask. You do not ask. You portray yourself as very independent, and you get surprised when they do not do anything for you, when they do not offer to do anything for you. How exactly are they supposed to know? Are they mind readers? Do you think they are like little gods that should know everything, that should know your needs, should know your mind? No, you have to open your mouth and ask for the things that you need. That is how you get things done for you. It's simple like that. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. Most of you get into relationship with your whole credentials like this. You go into relationship showcasing your credentials, and that is not how a feminine woman lead. Matter of fact, I know men that would not talk to you, would not take you seriously if you're leading with your credentials. Like, the problem is that most of you go into a relationship with your credentials this way, holding it up like this for the man to see, reading it out for him to see how much you've accomplished in life, how big of a deal you are, and all of that, as if you're applying for a job. It is not a job. It does not work that way. It is a relationship, and in that relationship, your qualification has got absolutely nothing to do with what you have accomplished. What you've accomplished is for you. It's for you to get ahead in life. It's for you to take care of yourself. It has nothing to do with the decision of a real masculine man, except for those men who are looking for someone to use. And that is the truth. But a real masculine man, even though you have, is something he's happy you have, right? You have for yourself to keep you happy, to make you happy. Something, a project that should keep you busy for your own good is not something that he thinks would improve his own life, because a masculine man always wants to lead, especially financially. He wants to lead. Read about Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's financial situation, and the situation seems to be that she does not spend her money in their home, and it just makes sense to me why that relationship is thriving, honestly, because we know how celebrity relationships can be, but we can all see how happy Rihanna is in her marriage. Very happy, very feminine. She has transformed into a Rihanna that is, is very girly, is very loving now, is very family oriented. You could see her, she's glowing. Why? Because she has a real man by her side. I just saw that story and I told myself, this is the exact reason why why this relationship is successful and is happy, at least from what we can see, right? But some of you think that your credential is what should make a man interested in you, and that is a very wrong way of thinking. And I have nothing against women, independent women. I have nothing against you. I think if you're doing great career-wise, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think if you're succeeding, in fact, you should succeed as a woman, because that is how you keep your dignity intact. But not for you to be leading with your credentials, not for you to be leading with your resume in relationship. That is not the place for your resume. Your resume as a woman in a relationship is your character, your values. Of course, you have to take care of yourself, so your beauty, your glow, health, that should be your resume. Everything else is just an addition that is not necessary, because except for men that are actually looking for someone to build with them, which is not many men, because most men are men that are very masculine in nature. They want to lead, and so they do not want competition at home. Or even if they think that they want, when they get that, then they realize quickly that it's not what they want. They do not want another man with them, leading with them. They want a woman appreciating them. They want a woman admiring them, not another man questioning them in the things that they do, in their career. They want a woman who looks good for them, who has good character, who can carry herself well and carry the family well by their side, not the one who is a boss and wants to boss them. Nothing against independent ladies, once more. So, your big resume as a woman is for you and you alone. Is for you to keep your dignity and choose who to deal with, at what time to deal with them, and how to deal with them, right? It's not for you to use it as a qualification when in a relationship, when getting into a relationship, because you only be attracting trouble to yourself. You only be attracting the kind of men that users. You will likely be attracting users to your life, those who are takers, who are there to use you until they find something, until they find a woman they can impress, a woman they can take care of, a woman that knows how to receive. It is a big deal, ladies. It is not a joke. It is not. It's not something you should overlook if you want a healthy relationship with a healthy masculine man. It's a very, very important point of notice. Please keep your resumes to yourself. Let that resume be something that is for you. To keep your head up. When you're building a thing, you're building it for your own good, to keep your dignity together. I know some of you would say, if I ask, wouldn't that make him feel like beggarly in his mind? Wouldn't that make him feel like, oh, I cannot afford my lifestyle or something like that? No, it won't. It won't with the right man, because he knows that you're a woman and that you need to receive. It is the way the world works. It is the way our nature works. A woman receives, a man gives, because that giving makes a healthy man happy. Is the way he feels in charge, right? Is what makes him feel like a man. He has a purpose. He's fulfilling a purpose. And you asking him is just a way of showing that you're a woman who is someday, if you're to end up with that woman, you're going to be having children, you're going to be having a household, and that man is going to be responsible for that family and for the household and for the children. Period. That is why you have to ask. It's not because you are lacking. It's not because you cannot take care of yourself. No, of course, when that man met you, you were taking care of yourself, right? So he knows that you can take care of yourself. But asking is just a way of saying that I am a woman and my needs are like this. A man has his own needs and he's not going to hesitate to ask you. He never hesitates to ask you. So why? Why do you hesitate asking? A man could be happy for you and should be happy for you for your achievements in life, as far as career, as far as whatever you do for yourself, but it shouldn't be a criteria for a relationship with him, except he wants you to build with him. And you know the result of building with a man, right? Well, that is a topic for another day. But let's deal with what we are dealing with right now. Please keep your resumes to yourself. When you go out on dates, it's not time to start blabbing about what you've achieved, all of your achievements, putting up your resume as if you're interviewing for a job. You are not interviewing for a job. You are there to learn about that person, right? If there's anybody that is even on that interview in that situation, it is the person that called you out. So you're supposed to be paying attention to that person and checking to see if that person fits in or not, because that is exactly why he called you out. He's trying to check if you fit in or not. And a healthy masculine man is not going to be judging you by your credentials. He's not interested in that. He's not interested in that. So ladies, beware. And please, do not take this for granted, because this is how so many women get into very bad situations. So you feel guilty for asking, but turn around again to feel offended when you do not receive. You see? You see what you're doing to yourself? You are guilty. You feel guilty to ask. But at the same time, when you do not receive, you feel offended, right? What is that? That is your body reminding you that you are a woman and you're meant to receive things from the man that loves you, from a man that is interested in you. That is your body reminding you that you are a woman. That is why you feel offended after you do not receive, or maybe you kept giving and giving and giving, and when the result of that comes, which is most likely going to be later in the future, because that result is definitely going to come. The only thing is, when is it going to come, right? So when the result shows up later in your relationship, then you begin to cry. Then you begin to rage and say, oh, I did this for him. After I stood by him, I did all of this for him. I didn't get anything out of it. You see? This is why you have to learn how to open your mouth and ask. Ask for the things you need. Ask for the things you need, not necessarily because you cannot provide for yourself. Not because you cannot provide for yourself, but because you are dealing with a man.